These are my top 10 tips to make you a better player. At number 1, my first tip is to remember that the Optiwand or the mirror is not just for looking under doors. This can actually be deployed at any point, and honestly, it's one of the best tools in the game you should be taking advantage of. Here it's helping me look over this ledge before moving all the way up this staircase, and here I'm using it to look around a corner down these stairs. Here I'm using it to look through this window. So as you can see, tons of different ways to use this tool aside from just looking under doors. So take advantage of this, get comfortable whipping this thing out before blindly running around a corner. Next up at number 2, we have a technique you can use when throwing your tactical grenades. As you can see, when we bring out a grenade and pull the pin, we don't have a crosshair or any frame of reference how to aim, unless you take a look at your left hand. See how you make sort of a C shape with your pointer finger and your thumb? Well, use the center point of these fingers to line up your throw. You will have to practice this and learn how the gravity affects the drop of the grenade, but once you get comfortable with this aim point, you'll be able to start tossing your tactical grenades and get them to land exactly where you want at any time and be able to accurately get them into any open doorway. At number 3, spend some time to customize your AI teammates' command menu and get really comfortable with quickly ordering them around and giving them commands. When you use them correctly and at the right times, they are way more useful and helpful than if you just have them follow you around like a bunch of chumps. We all know how to give them a basic command and just have them enter and clear a room, but the commands you give them can really play a factor in how successful they are at what they're about to do. Instead of just setting them all in a doorway, split them up and have them enter and clear at different times with the hold command, and have them deploy different tactical grenades at different times. And then once inside the room, send one team over to another doorway to stack up and cover while you and the other 2 teammates clear the rest of the room. Essentially, just be fluid with them and think ahead and actually strategize your commands. Unfortunately, many players think the bots are useless, but that's because they are not using them in the most optimal way. Check out my advanced teammate control video if you want some more information about bot control and tactics. Alright, at number 4, remember, this game is not Call of Duty or Battlefield. You can't just aimlessly run around or blindly clear areas. You actually need to take your time and use real tactics. For example, we can see this open door here, and it's usually not going to end well if we just run in, look around, and run out. So you need to use real tactics like prying doors and checking corners before you just run around like a wild goose. Some missions can take 30+ minutes to finish, and if you get lazy and start opening doors and not paying attention, there could easily have been a trap you didn't see that you end up setting off and you just blew yourself up and all your teammates. Or maybe it's a suspect hiding in a corner ready to two-tap you, forcing you to have to replay the entire mission you just spent 30 minutes on. So take your time and don't forget your tactics. Alright, at number 5, you're going to want to learn the quote-unquote secret gaps, spots, and angles on each mission. Now, these are not really a secret, maybe a better word is lesser known. What I mean by this is each mission has a handful of useful angles and spots to make your life a whole lot easier as you clear each level. For example, taking a look at the good old meth house, check out these backyard steps. If you go to the top, from here you can see down into this back room that connects to the side hallway up to the front. We can also look into the back bedroom that is often locked at the top of the stairs. We can also look over into both of the 2 windows in the kids' room. Then looking down to the left, we can see a gap here leading into the entrance of the cave system. This one spot literally gives you tons of intel if you actually take a second to look and gather any information that you can. So while I can't go over all spots like these in this video, just be mindful as you're playing through and consider what intel you can get by just doing a visual scan while standing in certain areas of different missions. Okay, for number 6, learning how to fake arrest can be helpful in some cases. What this means is as soon as you go in to arrest a suspect, immediately back off and cancel the animation. Not only is this good to know how to do in case you start getting shot at or you see another suspect that is a priority, you don't want to get locked into this arrest animation for a couple seconds and be open to getting shot. The other benefit this is by doing a fake arrest, any sidearms a suspect might have on them still will now drop off. Normally, when you yell for compliance and a suspect drops their primary gun and gets down and puts their hands up, if they have anything else on them like a pistol, that will still be on their hip. And if you don't get around to arresting them immediately, or if you turn your back on them, they might stand back up, pull that sidearm out, and start using it. So use this fake arrest as a way to get all weapons off of a suspect to be able to secure them. So this way you don't have to worry about them pulling a 9mm out of their butt cheeks and start shooting you back before you even had a chance to arrest them because you had to turn your back and do something else. All right, number 7. Spamming the yell for compliance button is an easy way to locate or find the last couple suspects or civilians you're looking for. There's nothing worse than after spending 30 minutes to finish a big, long mission, only to be running around like an idiot looking for that last suspect or civilian we somehow missed. Maybe they're in a random closet, maybe they ran off back to the start of the mission and you didn't see them. In either case, when you yell for compliance, any nearby suspects or civilians will more often than not respond with some sort of sound or dialogue if you're close enough.
Goddamn knees now! Get down on your knees!
What? That fucking gun is...
Police, down on the ground! Get down, I want to see hands! Hands on your head! Hands on your head,
Down
now!
slowly.
So just do a big circle while spamming the yell for compliance button, and more often than not, you'll hear that missing person you're looking for that you need to finish the mission. All right, number 8 is going to be similar to number 7, but this time we're taking a look at this box that pops up. Seeing this means we completed all our main objectives, but we have not secured all evidence or weapons. Chances are there's just going to be 1 or 2 guns sitting in the corner of some random room somewhere on the level, and we missed them on our first sweep through. It would take forever to check literally every single room and every area looking for these, so instead, open your command menu and use the search room or search area option. Now, normally your teammates will start to search the exact room or area you are in. However, when you give this command when the mission is over and that box shows up on the screen, your teammates will disperse across the entire map and go exactly to where the last remaining guns are that have still not been secured. As you're playing, you'll want to use this search command in each room as it is, just to make sure everything is secured, but this command becomes way more useful at the end of the mission, so you don't have to run around aimlessly for 20 minutes looking at the ground looking for that last weapon you forgot to secure. For number 9, you'll want to have a better understanding of how damage actually works. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I actually have a video on this topic already, but in short, the damage system is actually pretty in-depth and worth learning. For example, you don't just have a health bar that goes up or down, you have a damage zone for each limb, and you have an overall health that is shown by the outline of your player in your HUD. Depending where you get shot and with what type of ammo does affect you in different ways. You can break legs and arms, and all of these things can negatively affect your aim or your movement speed. Same with suspects. Shooting them in the arm or leg can cause them to bleed more and lead to an unintentional death. So keep this in mind when you decide to just aim for the leg to try and slow down a suspect or incapacitate them. You might just cause them to bleed out. Again, check out this full video here I have on everything you need to know about the health and damage system in Ready or Not. And finally, at number 10, remember you don't need to mag dump a suspect to drop them. A well-placed headshot or a 2-tap to the chest can easily drop a suspect even if they're wearing armor. You should be able to make a single magazine last for at least a handful of suspects. Even on the bigger maps and the longer missions, if you're actually hitting your shots, you only need a handful of magazines for your gun. This way you have more space in your vest for tactical equipment or grenades. So work on your aim and be precise with your shots, and that way it really frees up more space in your vest for other equipment. Alright everyone, I hope you learned at least something from this video. If you have any other tips that will help out other players, feel free to let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.